Hey, YouTube, are you ready for an adventure?
Because we weren't.
No, we weren't.
We would like to talk to you guys about our first weekend event. We got there. What did we do?
Well, we failed.
We weren't prepared at all. It was so much more than we expected, and we'll try to explain all of it now.
Yeah. All right. So obviously, we'll start with the starting. We got packed and drove down to Camp Harmon.
3 hours.
Just over, yeah. We missed several exits. So we got there, we got unpacked, found out what cabin we were going to be in, found out who was going to be rooming with us in these cabins, and kind of like got situated, assigned ourselves bunks.
The sheriff was with us, and he warded our cabin.
Yeah, which was cool for us because we didn't know about the warding. Basically, for those of you unfamiliar with Nero and how Nero works, the wards keep people out and monsters out and things out, and so you and all your stuff are safe. Hey, we like safe.
So if somebody tries to sneak in and steal something from you, like your coin purse or your weapons, they'll get frozen. Try to penetrate the barrier until somebody lets them out. Usually the people who belong to the cabin, since we were inside, we are kind of like the owners.
Yeah. So basically how it works is we were inside the cabin when the wards were set up, and so the wards are a magical barrier that we could pass through.
And let other people in
Yes.
or out. And we have to say the ward recognizes this specific person in or out. And
they could walk in and out once. Well, they could walk in once, or if we let them out, they could walk out once, but they couldn't come and go as they pleased. Which was nice. We brought another friend with us. So,
Jen.
yeah, Jennifer was our friend. It was our first female friend that we brought with us, and that
She enjoyed it.
she did. So far, all of our friends have enjoyed it, which is great.
Yeah. More people. Come over. We're becoming a power of our own now.
Yes, we are a 6-man clan strong, so we rival pretty much everyone. Actually, I think at this point we rival everyone. We don't have any solid like unity or ties or anything like anyone else, so we're not really looking to do anything as far as overthrowing. But a few more people.
Yet.
A few more people. We could.
And nobody can stop us because we are the majority.
Exactly. But we're not the majority yet. We're not looking to overthrow yet. So anyone from Nero watching, you guys are safe.
For that.
For now.
So the event really started at 8:30. We had a little ceremony to initiate the game. And from there on, we were completely in character until the end of the event on Sunday.
Which was both challenging and incredibly fun at the same time.
Absolutely. Like, we randomly get attacked by spiders or kobolds. He had an excellent experience with a spider.
I ain't about that spider life. So apparently the spiders have an ability to stun you. And a spider dropped down and it attacked a guy that I was talking to at the time. It stunned him, so I went to attack the spider, and then it stunned me. And because I went to attack the spider, it then grabbed me and took me up a tree and then proceeded to try and eat me. And it almost killed me. I almost died.
We were trying to save him. But this guy forgot that he can rip from vines and escape.
I did forget. I didn't have the time though.
Yeah.
So to rip from vines, how it works as a barbarian, you get it. But you have to say, I rip from binds 1, I rip from binds 2, I rip from binds 3. The problem is that not only did I forget, but I got hit with the stun ability or whatever it was, basically webbing thing, and then the spider grabbed me and carried me up to the tree, so I didn't have time to rip from bindings.
However, we did have a star friend who had claws. She climbed the tree and started attacking the spider in an effort to save him. She did not succeed, but fortunately, a few others were able to cast some spells at it and distract it enough to have him fall.
It dropped me after it drained me of all my blood.
Oh, yeah.
So I was knocked unconscious and out of life, but I wasn't dead. I was dying. And then was able to be healed and brought back. So the group did save me, just not in time. Y'all suck.
We were not prepared.
We were not prepared. In fact, I died so many times.
However, we did go and find a coffee shop.
Yes. So we had some new players who came. This was their first Nero weekend visit. And they decided that rather than come and just kind of play along like what we did and try and figure everything out, I guess they've been doing Larp longer. I did talk to a few of them out of character. Yeah. And one of them actually runs her own game.
They do several different Larps.
They had way more experience than we did. So they came fully prepared. They were prepared. They decided to open up a coffee shop with like baked goods that they had baked themselves. And they brought like an espresso machine and coffee machines. And they ran a coffee shop out of one of the cabins that we were staying in.
I had a tea and I was like, amazing.
It was awesome. And they ran it the whole weekend, actually. And so it was really, really cool to have that experience and to have just kind of that little extra element that...
Yeah. We just sat around talking about our war stories and drinking... coffee, tea. They had some meals too, like the grilled sandwiches they had.
Yeah, grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese sandwiches. Ooh,
and they
smells
so
made,
good. Yeah, they made like pies and cakes and just cookies, all sorts of things.
And they used in-game currency too, so we can purchase stuff. Mm-hmm. Beforehand, before this coffee shop, you would only really use the coins to buy magical items when they go on auction. However, now there's a way you can use that currency for something else. Let's say at a coffee shop.
Yeah, which did spark an idea for us, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes. The next thing that came up was
so we got attacked by a scarecrow man thing. Basically, NPC with like farmer clothes and then a burlap sack
over his head.
And he hit hard, and he had a lot of hit points, like a lot of hit points. And he was just walking around,
and he could recover those hit points at pretty much any time. It'll take a minute to recover, but we didn't know that.
Well, he couldn't do it at any time. He could only do it. I found out later. He could only do it after like 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes he could stop and take a minute to replenish all of his hit points. And I was right. I want to tell everyone right now, I was the only one who was right. The moment I saw him, we were like, we need to hit him, and we need to keep hitting him until he stays down. And everyone else was like, no, just leave him alone. He'll go away. He didn't. I was right, people. Listen to me.
Not true. We did take him down, and he got back up.
Yeah.
Several times.
Yeah, 3 total. He died and came back to life 3 times, but the 4th time we killed him, he stayed dead. And I say I wasn't actually there for the 4th time because while fighting said player, he broke my axe. So...
And shattered his sword.
Yes. But, so in-game, he used a massive attack, and I foolishly blocked it with my sword, and it shattered my sword. So even though my sword wasn't broken in real life, in-game, I no longer have a longsword. And then he did another massive attack for like 100 health, And I went to block it with my axe this time. And the sword that he hit me with has a hook at the end of it, and my axe is hooked, obviously, because it's an axe. And the two hit, and when he pulled back, his sword was stronger than my axe head, and it ripped my axe head. So I can no longer use my axe, and I was very upset about it. And it's sad.
Yeah, he went.
I was done. I was done after that. I'm not gonna lie. I got
went and cried.
Really, I did.
In his cabin.
I did. Curled up in a ball, in a corner, rocking myself to and fro.
Sweet.
No, but with my sword shattered and my axe, like the Fizzrep axe, actually broken, I was useless at that point. I had no other weapons, and I was very upset that my favorite axe, my only axe really, but it's the Axe of Ragnar. I've shown it off in a previous video. If you haven't seen that, just pause this, go watch that, come back. We'll wait.
We should explain something.
We gotta wait. They're gonna go. All right, welcome back.
Let's explain why that scarecrow was there.
Okay.
In the first place.
So apparently there was a story of a farmer who fell in love with a noblewoman, and every day he professed his love to said noblewoman, and every day the father was like, "No, you're not good enough for my daughter." And so the farmer rather, finally saved up enough money. He bought like this little ring thing, and
a necklace.
And a necklace. And he went and he proposed his love to the woman and asked her to marry him. And the father, the noble father, had his men beat the crap out of said farmer.
To death, essentially.
Almost to death. Near death. Like within an inch of his life. Quite literally this time. Not just an expression. Within an inch of his life. And as he lay there dying, the noble daughter walked over. She bent down. She took the ring. And she said, "In what world did you ever think you were worthy of me?" And then she throws the ring into the woods. And that action and that statement of superiority kind of twisted the agonizing poor man's soul. And he died in that moment and kind of became this scarecrow thing.
Evil creature bent on revenge.
Yes. Which actually got me in trouble later on in the game because of some things I said in character about that story.
Well, that's what drove the scarecrow. He was after those items, and we did not know that. He would not attack normally unless provoked. He would just follow a path, searching for something apparently. And we later realized that it was the ring and the necklace. And one of the noblewomen, Dame Captain, she had one of the items, I believe.
She did. And so then he tried to kill her to get the item back.
We had to be guardsmen, essentially, in that case, to protect her.
Yeah, which I want to point out right now that was a load of crap, okay? Because when it first showed up, I was like, no, we need to kill it right now. It's evil. Just kill it and be done with it. And everyone was like, oh, no, let it just be. It might go away. But the moment Lady Dame is under attack, or Dame Captain, as we call her in the game, the moment she's being attacked by everybody there is like, oh, kill the thing. It's evil. And I'm like, yeah. I said that. Oh, hold on. Wait, wrong caller. I said that from the beginning. No one listens to me until a woman is attacked. I'm not salty at all about that, by the way.
So we did manage to kill it finally.
They did. I left at this point, so I'm going to sit out, and Yev here is going to talk about the rest of night one.
Yeah.
So I went home to lick my wounds.
My character was severely angered at this. I saw that the nobles controlled everything. They took advantage of the common people in any circumstances, whether it's distribution of loot, they get
basically they run the thing because they have the money and the power. Like they're nobles, so basically their word is law. And several nobles tend to break rules and get away with it because they're nobles.
Absolutely.
And my character, my character had made a comment about the nobles in the story. Okay, and somebody mistook that as my character making a comment about all nobles.
Yeah.
And I found out that Sunday, one of the guys that I'm friends with at the Larp was kind enough to come over and talk to me before trying to string me up like everyone else wanted to do. And was like, "Hey, so we got to talk. I heard some really like disheartening stuff coming from you," and I'm like, what did I say? And he's like, well, the word is that, you're like saying nobles suck and, they have this false air of entitlement. I'm like, that sounds vaguely familiar to something I said about a story I heard. Are we perhaps talking about this event? He's like, yeah, but like, why you gotta go saying it about all nobles? And I'm like, I was just referring to these nobles, like over here, like these guys that did this to this poor little farmer guy. Like, he didn't deserve that. Like,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, okay," because these guys over here are saying that, like, you totally are saying that about all nobles, and they want to kill you. I'm like, what? All right, let's go. I'll go down swinging. But luckily, he was able to smooth things over for me, so my character gets to live. Yay! Yeah, I was not popular with the nobles for a while.
On our behalf, some of the nobles get away with a lot of stuff, like drinking and fighting. They don't actually drink. Their characters are drinking.
Yeah, we've stated in a previous video that drinking is not allowed. If you haven't seen that, pause. You're gonna be pausing a lot if you're just now coming in. Go watch other stuff. Our stuff. Go watch our other stuff. Not. He's touching the screen. Sorry. We're on a phone.
Dude, stop.
Well, you're all like, ouch. They
Okay.
gotta know.
No, they
So,
don't.
all right, serious.
So that conflict was over.
Some nobles do some corrupt stuff. That's all we're trying to say.
Yeah. I went to the tavern, just absorbing, taking it all in, and then we get some fairies just barge in the door, screaming their heads off, and then not a second later, Iron Giant runs in after them. We're like, should we do something? They're not attacking anybody, none of them. We're like, we should just watch them and see what happens. I mean, we don't have to attack them. They're not doing any harm.
There was a lot of watching.
Yeah. So we followed them. They ran into the coffee shop, and the Iron Giant followed them. But
I didn't know that.
the Iron Giant is huge and swings these two massive swords. And he did some damage to the coffee shop.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know that.
The baristas were really upset about that. And they enlisted our help to take it down. We gathered around and took out the Iron Giant. And the fairies were like, "Ooh, thank you, you guys are amazing." I'm thinking, maybe we could get some reward from them. So I'm like, we see you're grateful, so how are you guys gonna repay us for the good deed we did?
You didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
My character wasn't aware of what the fairies were and the deals they make.
Yeah. So apparently in Nero, fairies are not creatures that you want to
Make deals with.
receive. Yeah, you don't want to make deals with them, and you definitely don't want to owe a fairy anything, which we do. Actually, we owe a fairy. We'll get in that later. So back to the story.
One of the fairies said, "Yeah, of course. Here, I'll cast a blessing on you. Do you accept?" And then I hear somebody say in the background, "It's a 50-50. I'm like, "What?" I'm like, and the fairy's like, "Do you accept?" I'm like, yeah, okay. And the fairy's like, "You are blessed. You have plus 10 hit points." I'm like, "Sweet."
Okay, that's actually really good.
Then the fairy went to the one of the other fighters, and she's like, "Do you accept this blessing?" And he was like, "No," and walks away. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And I'm like a little distracted, and then some random old guy comes up into my face and like, "Now who's gonna pay me for the damage for my golem? Who destroyed my golem? Who's gonna pay me for the destruction of my golem?" I'm like,
Holy.
"Oh wow." Yeah.
As we almost slip up again. Sorry about that, YouTube. Oh,
Freaking out.
you didn't tell me any of this, by the way.
No, I didn't. I'm freaking out because I'm in so much trouble. They were accusing us of destroying his property. Before I had a chance to react, one of the fairies knocks the guy out. And then the baristas come out.
Awesome.
I explained to the barista that this man is trying to get compensation for the destruction of his golem. And she's like, "Oh no. He made some damages to our coffee shop. We demand what's the word for it? Compensation. And since he's unconscious, he can't really talk about it. So we decide to take him to the tavern. We carried him over, set him down. We were deciding whether we should tie him up or what we should do with him. One of the baristas searched him for weapons. She did not find any weapons. And while we were deciding what to do with him, one of the baristas got knocked out by the fairy. One of the fairies. I didn't see it happen, so I'm like, I went over to try to help. And then the sour friend got knocked out. I'm starting to freak out. I started trying shaking them awake, and next thing I know, I'm down.
Jeez. I didn't know any of this.
5 minutes later, I woke up. Naturally woke up. Nobody woke me up. Found out the fairies were knocking people out. They were causing mischief. And
As fairies do.
the old man was gone. I went with my sour friend to figure out what happened. We walked into the coffee shop and saw them talking. The sheriff was there. And they were having a discussion about who's at fault and who has to pay.
Nice.
I left it to them to figure out. Later, I found out that the fairies played a prank on that old man. Every time he tried to eat, they would steal the food from him.
Oh.
So for a month, the old man couldn't eat.
Wow, he survived for a month?
Yeah,
That's an impressive old man.
that's why he made the iron golem, to kill those fairies, so he can actually eat. So he was very justified in what he did.
Yeah. Which just goes to show that you don't always know the full story to everything.
Exactly. So killing things right off the bat isn't the best option.
It's always the best option. Kill everything, let God sort them out. Except Nero doesn't have a God, so kill everything,
And
and that's it. Just kill everything. Loot the bodies.
I was pretty exhausted. But we stayed up thinking that something will happen that we need to take care of. But nothing did. So until like 6 or 7 a.m., I was up with my soft friend, trying to figure out what to do, killing time. that's one of the things that my character didn't like, not doing anything.
Should have been sleeping.
So eventually I did go to sleep and got like 2 hours of sleep. And then we got woken up for breakfast. And that's how we began the second day.
Indeed. Day 2! I died!
Yeah.
So
while on the way to breakfast. No
yeah! Like, I didn't even get to eat breakfast, okay? I wake up, I'm tired, I'm still a little grouchy because my axe is broken and I don't have a sword. And so I basically have no weapon whatsoever. And I'm on...
And I benched them.
Yeah, he leaves me. He's like, I'm gonna go eat. I'm really tired. Bye. I'm like, I need to get dressed. Can you? All right. So
No.
he bails.
Yep.
I get dressed. Everyone is bailed. I'm like, all right. Well, I'm going to breakfast on my own. Like, I don't think anything of it because it's breakfast. Like, what's gonna happen before breakfast, right? Wrong thought process, people. Things happen before breakfast.
Yes.
So I'm on my way to the tavern where breakfast is being held, and out of nowhere, 2 lightning elementals jump me, and they're like, 50 lightning, 50 lightning! And they hit the bam! Simultaneously, I got hit by both of them with a 50 attack damage spell, and I just dead. And I'm looking around, and I'm like, this is going to be really bad. I'm the only one out here. No one is around. No one sees me.
Buddy system.
Yeah, always have a buddy system. So I'm dying for the 60 seconds, and then I'm dead. And then I'm dead for like 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
Wow, that's close.
Yeah, you can only be dead for 6 minutes, and then you have to be resurrected. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you have to be resurrected. So I'm like really close. And I'm like, this is it. This is where I die. My adventures are over. I did not realize that you could actually be resurrected a certain number of times. I thought like dead was dead. So I'm like, this is how I die. This sucks. I haven't even had breakfast yet. I've had this character all of like 3 months. This was our 3rd event. Like, so I've literally had the character for 3 months, and I don't even get to play a full event with him. And already I'm rolling up a new character. And then out of nowhere, a healer comes flying by, like sprinting, right? Because the lightning elementals are just a throwing packet away from us. It was not far from me. And he just comes running up, and he's like, I grant you the gift of life! And just kept running. And I was like, sweet! And I got up, and they hit me with another 50 packet. I'm down. And then he comes flying back, and he's like, healing points 10! And just took off, and I got up and sprinted. So thank you, whoever you were. I don't even know who you were. I did not get a chance to see you because you came flying by both times. But I was resurrected, and then I bailed. And got breakfast finally. Yay.
I actually made it to the tavern to get breakfast. I was in the middle fight when these 2 elementals showed up. I'm like, I'm eating here. I had to put down my food and to go out and try to defend everybody. But hearing his story, I'm like, whew, I dodged a bullet there.
We're gonna have to bleep out some words there. Yeah, no, everybody dodged a bullet except me.
Yeah,
I ate the bullet, and not in the fun way.
twice.
Almost 3 times.
But I think once we ate the food, we were actually hearing rumors about this.
Before that, I got a magical sword.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So it turns out the sheriff is the one who was NPCing the Scarecrow Man. And he felt really bad about breaking my axe. Like, really bad. He apologized for like 10 minutes the night after he came back to our cabin because, we were all sleeping together in the cabin. So he came back, and I told him and showed him my broken axe, and he was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And he apologized for like 10 minutes straight. And then went and gave me this little magical card that basically gives me a magical sword. So I was able to get a magical sword after breakfast, and I had a magical sword. and then I had to go get a short sword to replace the axe, so that I can still dual fight. Although I used the sword to block. So. But yeah, so I was able, after breakfast, I was able to get weapons and be able to fight again.
Nice.
But they were stolen from me several times. Talk about that later.
We heard rumors about this magical tree that appeared out of nowhere. We also heard that it requires you to solve puzzles, riddles.
You have to use your thinking noodle
Instead of your sword.
instead of your sword noodle.
First time we went there, we got a slip of weird markings. It was some kind of different language.
Scandinavian.
Basically,
Viking runes.
we couldn't identify them.
We don't read Viking. Even though we play Vikings on our YouTube channel.
So the night before I figured out what to do, I took out the piece of paper and started decoding it. I was able to get a hint from...
with the low-key help of Google.
No.
We cheated.
It had nothing to do with Google. They had their own system of doing it. They made up their own representations for each character.
Oh, okay.
So you couldn't actually cheat off of Google for that specific reason.
Okay.
But with a hint from it was a stranger. One. I was able to decode the riddle, and what it said was we had to dance under a tree to gain access into the tree.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, there's 4 people that can go in. So it was the 3 of us from our clan, and then we brought a reindeer friend that we have. She plays a reindeer. She's not an actual reindeer.
Not a reindeer, deer, just a deer.
Yeah, deer. Sorry, she's a deer, or her character is a deer. So it was the 4 of us that went. The 4 of us have exceptional dancing skills. I'll let you know. We are all very white.
Yeah. And it was rainy. It was pouring rain.
But I really liked it. I loved the rain. For me, it brought an element of realness to it.
Absolutely. An extra element really made it feel real. Mm-hmm. We were able to go inside to get some shelter from the rain, but also to have a chance to figure out what the tree was all about.
Mm-hmm. Which was really cool. It was actually something that they were trying at the Larp for the first time, or I believe someone said it was the first time. I don't actually know if
it was the first time.
Okay, so it was the first time they were trying something like this, where instead of just showing up and waiting to beat people to death with your fake weapons, and the people aren't really dead, they respawn and you can beat them all over again. It was a puzzle room, and so you went in and you got to solve puzzles.
Actually, a trap room.
Yeah. And so you got to, use your brain and think a little. And so it was something different that they were trying it. And it was actually a lot of fun.
Out of character, we knew it was a trap room. In character, we did not.
Did not know.
So we didn't even realize that we were going to our certain death while getting in there.
We made it out okay.
Wow. we all favors.
Yeah.
And we almost died. But
like that. So how it worked is we stepped through the threshold and we entered what appears to be another realm, as best we could have told our characters anyway. And all we knew about this realm was that time seems to not move the same. So we don't know exactly how long we were in the tree. In the inside. And when we came out of it, our characters didn't remember anything. All we remembered is that we were in there for a period of time, and that because we needed more time, we actually had to owe the fairies a reason. We didn't know we needed more time. We just knew we owed them a favor for some reason, and that we don't know how long we were in there.
But it was just the fairy explained it to us this way, that they had riddles and puzzles that we needed to find. And the door, the place was dark, and the fairies would play little tricks on us. Try to get us to deal with them. It's like, do you guys want more light? Oh, we can trade you something.
Which I actually did. So there was...
Well, I paid her.
I didn't have any coin. So one of the other fun things is that, you know how you always forget something when you go on a trip? I forgot probably one of the most important things, which was my coin purse. So I showed up, and I had no money.
Yep.
So I made him give me a gold nugget.
Yeah.
And we had an adult running it, and then she had her kid helping her. So I went up to the kid, and I was like, I'll give you this large gold nugget for some light. And she was like, yeah, okay. Like us, she probably thought that it was worth more than just one gold. Because we thought that when we first got it. Like, the thing was, like, massive. And we're like, sweet! And no, it's one gold. And we're like, oh, well, that's...
Because it's impure.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of dirt inside.
Probably. So, basically, for a gold... I mean, gold is still a lot, though. So
Yeah.
I gave her a gold. She turned the lights on for us.
And we were able to find all the puzzles. Some of them may not have been puzzles.
I think some of them we made puzzles. Like, oh, what is this? It must be a puzzle. And she's over there going,
Nope. Nope.
I can't tell you anything because it totally ruins it. But
No.
I'm just going to sit here and shake my head. Too many trees for the forest. If you don't know what that means, go ask your grandparents.
So we able to solve a lot of the puzzles, and we had 5 seconds left.
Yeah.
We...
So the last one was a code. We had a lock combination, but like that you have at high school on your locker. That's what I was trying to think of. And the combination was this code that was on the thing, and so we're like, ah! And then he had a bright idea, because I thought it was just the first number over and over.
Yeah.
So that's why it wasn't working. And then he was like, maybe each letter is a number. And I was like, oh, right, there's 3 numbers to it.
Yeah.
And I got it opened.
And the fairies were actually counting down from 10, 9, 8, 7.
Yeah, like the little girl, she like inched forward with each second. Like they were ready to kill us. They wanted blood. Yeah. But I got it at 5. Like they were like 5. I got it.
Oh wow.
It was intense.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was safe, but just trying to get it done before that timer hit was intense.
We were freaking out.
Yeah, because it basically came down to me. Like, everyone else's life depended on me opening this lock. And that's a lot of pressure. But I did it.
Yes, and we were fortunate enough to get a prize for it. It was a piece of the tree.
Mm-hmm. Which we needed, what was it, 7 or 8?
7.
Yeah, so 7 pieces of the tree for a ceremony that was going on later that night, and we would actually see like what the pieces of the tree did specifically. So we didn't even know at the point. We were just like, yeah, we got a piece of the tree. It'll do something.
Eventually.
But we were told we needed it. We got it. We're awesome.
Yeah. And we went out free, telling everybody our story.
That we could not remember.
Exactly. But we knew we almost died there.
We almost died. We owed them a favor, and we did get a piece of the tree. And that was the tale that we told epically. Which made us feel kind of like, I don't know about you, but I felt like I could do anything at that point.
Yeah.
And then we did the caravan mission.
Yes.
So Clan Windmane, our clan, was hired to basically be guards for a caravan that needed to transport some of his goods. And we were only 3 strong. We have 3 other players, but they could not make it for work-related reasons, which happens.
Yeah.
So we had to go hire people because 3 people is not a very good guard duty. And then we didn't do very well anyway. So we probably should have hired more people than we did. But
Absolutely.
yeah, so we hired some people, and they were all low level because we were told that the level of the monsters would scale to the highest level character that we had. And us only being level 5, we were like, we got a lot of friends that are like level 9 and higher, but we don't want to be fighting level 9 creatures because we're only level 5.
Exactly.
So we were like, no friend.
Sorry.
We're gonna go with these strangers that are completely untested because they're our level. So yeah, we got a bunch of. There were several new players that showed up to this event. They were all about the level that we needed, and so we grabbed all of them. And then I think we grabbed 1 or 2 other people.
Yeah.
Had a nice sized group, we thought, and then we went off guarding.
And this caravan would walk, carrying essentially these shields and other goods on top of it.
Well, so yeah, it was a guy carrying it all, and the shields were shields, but they were all supposed to be representatives
of crates and stuff inside the crates.
Valuable goods that a tradesman would sell.
Yeah. Our first encounter,
we did really well. We did really well, except that one guy from Vegas.
Yeah.
He is very skilled at sword fighting, and if you are watching this, sir, yeah, you suck in a very good way. In a very good way. Oh, man, he was a very skilled sword fighter, and one-on-one, I found it very difficult to match his skill. When we got more than one, we did all right against him. But he alone proved quite significant in our downfall, I think.
Yeah.
He was a little too good for us.
I had to stop occasionally to repair my armor because I don't have smithing and it takes me longer to repair my armor. So while the caravan was moving on, I had to stay behind to repair my armor.
Several people did, actually.
Yeah.
I think that's what hurt us a lot. It was people repairing armor so much. But we only had to repair armor so much because we got jumped so much.
Yeah, those kobolds kept coming and coming.
I actually had to wind up using my spell packets. I had been granted spells, Breath of Fire, by some fairies. We'll get into that later. But yeah, I had to use them in this fight, like right off the bat. And then and that wasn't even like the big part. I thought that was the big part. That's why I used them. And then we got to the really big part, and I realized that I should have held on to them.
Yes, so we got kind of bottlenecked into this pathway, and we found out there were traps.
We have a really hard time with bottlenecks in general, this LARP. We get bottlenecked, and we just stop.
And there were traps, and before the event, they asked if anybody could disarm traps, and we're like, nope.
Nobody could. And so they were going to get rid of the traps, but somebody didn't get that memo, I think. Yeah, there were traps. And I got knocked unconscious again.
I was way late, too.
As I lay there... No, I was actually, I was killed. So as I lay there dying, the 60-second bleed out, one of the kobolds walked up and he goes, you know what? For funsies, I'm going to search you. And he searched me, and I didn't have... Luckily, I hadn't been paid for anything, so I didn't have any coins. So I'm like, I don't have any coin. Sorry, buddy. And he goes, dang. He goes, you do have weapons, though. And I was like, yes, I did. And he took my weapons. And then later I was healed and allowed to get back up. But I didn't have any weapons, so I couldn't fight for like 10 minutes.
And I got some of my goods stolen.
So I wish I had coin, because then I could have fought when I got back up. But I didn't have any coin. So he took my weapons, and then I couldn't fight. So then we were down, even though I was healed, we were still down a fighter.
And we were scattered, and it was just a giant mess. Our leader took a stick and threw it at one of the traps to disarm it. And that triggered the trap. It actually took out some people
So yeah, I didn't know that he threw a stick at it, but the kobold that stole my weapons died, and so I ran over to grab my weapons real quick because he had dropped them. And so as I was grabbing my weapons, the trap went off.
Yep.
And I died.
Took out a few people. Then we proceeded further, and there was another string right there that we thought was a trap. We were hesitant about moving forward, and that hurt us really bad. And then the caravan leader did the same thing, threw another stick at the trap, and nothing happened. It didn't go off. And one of the kobolds was like, "Hey, quit messing with my string!" And puts it back, and we're like, "Is that trap still active?" We weren't sure, and somebody was saying that no, the trap is not active. Just go, rush him. So we did rush eventually.
I missed all that actually because at that point, some of the hobgoblins made it around, or kobolds, not hobgoblins. They made it around and they stole some of the cargo. Yeah. So I chased them down to get the cargo back.
We found out that was not a trap, but however, the one of the guys that was guarding that string, he did have a trap ready to go off. Fortunately, somebody attacked him from behind and made him drop his trap, and it did not go off. And we were saved by that, and we were able to safely get the remaining cargo to where it was supposed to go.
Remaining cargo.
We lost more than half.
Yeah, more than half. The cargo had been stolen, and we were unable to retrieve it.
The mission was over. We went back to the tavern to get paid. Our pay was so small compared to what it could have been.
But to be honest, I can't say I blame him. with less than half the cargo making it to the save point.
He was expecting that we would lose some cargo, but
not as much as we did.
We still got paid. Like 2 gold. But we did get paid.
And I was feeling at that point very unworthy of the previous awesomeness that I had felt. This was an adventure.
Absolutely. We were not prepared for it, but
we're never prepared.
But it was a whole lot of fun. After the mission, I was exhausted. I needed to take a break, so I decided to go to the cabin. On the way to the cabin, I see eggs on the floor, like Easter eggs. I'm like, well, I guess it's that time of the year, and they're just handing out eggs. And I did see some kids, and they were getting the eggs. I'm like, oh, that's really nice of them. I took one of the eggs. I'm like, opened it up. It's like, ooh, there's a chocolate in here. Started eating. Went back. Had no idea what was happening. I later found out that fairies were dropping those eggs. And as you know by now, all fairy things are very tricky.
Very tricky.
And they came with, the first egg came with a curse and a blessing. My curse was that anytime I'm hit with a spell ball, I have to say, thank you. May I please have another? Completely forgot about that. I apologize. But that was a curse I got.
Mine was a lot better in retrospect. Like, I didn't have to say anything kinky like that. So the curse that I got, as I had mentioned before, I had some spells. The spells were from the egg benefit. But the curse that I got was that I could not do a killing blow to any character. Which basically just means that if a character is unconscious or bound in some way where he's unable to defend himself, you can perform a killing blow and kill them instantly, regardless of how many health they have. So that was taken from me, but I wasn't really killing, blowing anyone anyway at any point in time, so it didn't matter so much to me.
Even though we did some killing blows on some mobs. Oh, I guess I did.
I couldn't. It was taken from me. But my boon was that I got 3 spell packets that I was able to use. So one spell that I was able to cast 3 times, and it was called Breath of Fire, and it did a lot of damage, and it was pretty fun. I was told 40, but then later I was told that was wrong, and I actually should have been doing 80.
Ooh, wow! So that is powerful.
Very powerful spell.
Considering I only have 8 health points and 15 armor.
Yeah.
And that instantly death.
Yeah. So my experience with the eggs happened before we went on that mission. Actually, before we went into the tree. Right after I ate breakfast, I came out and Lonnie was there dressed up as a fairy with his cute little wings and everything. And handing out eggs. I was like, oh, what's this? So he gave me an egg. And he's like, pick a number. I'm like, okay, this. And he's like, you can now cast the spell. I'm like, sweet. He's like, pick another number. I'm like, this. He's like, you can't do killing blows. And I'm like, wait, that what just happened? He's like, one out of character. He's like, he gave one boon and 1 curse. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm not going to do any more eggs.
Yeah.
But I later found out that there was a guy buying eggs because he was trying to get like all the curses. I sold him my egg.
One of the curses was
he was upset later when he realized that I sold him a used egg. He didn't specify that he was wanting an unused egg, right? So that he could go get the curse. He just said, I'm buying eggs. I'm like, I've got an egg. And he's like, here's a gold. And then I took it, and then someone was like, didn't you use that egg? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why did you sell it to me? I'm like, you said you were buying eggs. So, always be careful of what you say, guys. It can be and will be taken advantage of.
Yes. One of the curses was every time you start out the sentence, you have to say back in my day.
Oh, that was
That was one of the best curses I've seen. So this guy would say, back in my day, good morning. Back in my day, how are you? For everything he would say. And some guy would say, why are you saying back in my day? Well, back in my day, I got cursed. Back in my day, it's no fun.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome. We did have a few people that got that same curse, and they were talking to each other, and so like every sentence was just, back in my day, how you doing? And then the other person was like, back in my day, not so great, I've been cursed. And then one person was like, back in my day, me too! And then eventually the whole conversation just broke down, and it just became a back in my day. It was so funny. I was laughing for like 5 minutes.
You guys did an amazing job at it.
So if you guys are watching, thank you. It was hilarious.
And all of that was before lunch.
You almost said breakfast.
Yes.
I mean, technically, you're not wrong. It was before Sunday breakfast, but all before lunch. So after lunch, we got assigned a mission. There was a bridge at the campsite that we were at, and we had to go to the bridge and fight some guys.
We don't remember what it was about.
I don't even think that I was told why we were going. We just went and we killed them, and there was money involved.
Yes.
And I say we, but I was in the back of the group. I did no fighting.
But we got loot.
I never got a chance to move up and fight. Although I asked many times if people would please make a hole so that the fighter could get up front.
Nope.
So I stood back with Captain, and we were just talking the whole time. I actually spent a lot of time with Captain this particular weekend. Like, in the back. Just chilling in the back and talking. Couldn't do anything.
Then we went get more coffee or tea or whatever at the coffee shop.
We spent a lot of time at the coffee shop. Like, the coffee shop was amazing. They brought their own chairs, their own decoration.
Yeah.
They brought a desk that they had as the shop, and everything was set up on the shop. Like, they were prepared.
Expert level.
Yeah, we are never prepared.
Yeah.
It's our intro. So yeah, we spent a lot of time at the coffee shop, just hanging out, chilling, talking. And then we got another mission to go back across the bridge and fight some void corn. Apparently some void... Yeah, I know, it's weird. Some corn had become sentient, and it was angry that it was sentient, I guess. I don't really know. It was void corn.
It was corrupting the farmlands.
It was. So we had to go put a stop to it. And our idea of putting a stop to it was killing it! Because we kill everything.
Absolutely. Barbarians!
Yeah, we don't ask a lot of questions.
Nope.
Mainly just two. What are we killing and how much are we getting for killing it? It's a simple life. And a lot of people are like, I wish I had your simple life. And we're like, I wish you'd let us be our simple life. Because we're always like, kill it! And they're like, no, we gotta talk. It's boring.
Especially in the off times.
And then we just kill it anyway. And I'm like, God, we could have saved so much time. But anyway, that's for another story.
And while queuing this corn, we found out that was just a distraction.
Yes.
Distraction.
So they gave us that mission to get us away from the main building while they were...
Welcome back, YouTube.
Hi, guys.
This is part 2.
Yeah. So our camera died, and we were filming on Easter, and we both had places to be, so we didn't have time to wait for it to charge up. So that's why everything's different. I mean, even we're on the opposite side. But that doesn't matter. So we left off talking about the void corn and how we were sent out to kill the void corn, and it turned out to be this huge distraction thing so that plot could set up for the main fight, which was back in the tavern.
Yes.
They had 2 smoke machines, and so they filled the entire thing with smoke, and it was super cool. It's super chaotic.
And barricaded it. There was a lot of upturned tables as barricades, so we can't get over them. Had to go around into this bottleneck position.
True story.
It was a tough battle.
Yeah.
But we were getting ahead of ourselves. Remember those that piece of wood we got from the mystery?
It's the piece of the tree.
The piece of the tree.
So
we had enough people who completed the puzzle room, and we got enough of the pieces to activate this doorway into another dimension.
Yes, another realm.
Another realm.
Or dimension or whatever. I'd like to say, though, about the tree thing, I feel better after talking at the end of the game. We were not the only group that needed more time, and we are not the only group that owes the fairies a boon. It turned out one group made it through without any favors owed and on time. Everyone else did just as poorly as we did. So I feel better about that because we're average. So yeah, we went through the door, the portal door, into the room, and it was smoky, and they had tables all thrown up like barricades, and yeah, lots of fun stuff happened. We got attacked like right off the bat. We got attacked because when you walked in, like, the room instantly, because of the tables, forces you to go this way, and then there's like this little bottleneck opening.
So many spells.
And we don't do well with bottlenecks.
No, we don't. Especially the noobs. I did have a shield, but a lot of the attacks went right through my shield. Get me any time.
Yeah. So everything we fought inside the room had void magic, which means all armor, none of it is any good.
If it hits your weapon, it hits you.
If it hits you, it hits you.
Exactly. And we were low level, so one hit, we're down, essentially. Almost every time.
Every time. I went down a lot.
I had one guy who killed me, did a killing blow, And I was up a couple of minutes before somebody came in with a life spell.
Oh, you suck. I at least did not get killing blowed. I died a lot, but nobody managed to killing blow me.
I did also lose, or my fur got damaged, and I had to leave it behind.
Like, legitimately damaged?
The strap came off.
Ah. Okay.
That's why you saw it left on the counter there.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then after the battle was over, I came over and I couldn't find my fur.
I took it.
And he thought that was all that was left of me.
I really did. I actually played that out. I was like, where's the rest of Milo? My brother.
It was so brutal in there.
It was.
I was going down left and right.
So not everything moved slow. We had a couple of kids that were like just racing around super fast. But the majority of everything else moved super slow and did not do a whole lot of attacking. But when they did...
There was a juggernaut that swung, what was it, like 2 or 3 void with each swing.
Uh-huh.
And I did an assassination on him. He's like, okay. And keep going.
Oh, that's not even the worst. Like, dude, there were so many assassinations on him. He survived 3 assassinations.
At least.
Yeah,
that we know.
Two people that I was there with did their their cleave, which is at least 100.
Assassinations are 100 as well.
Yeah, but so is like a cleave attack is like at least 100. One guy did a magical attack for like 300. And he's just like, yeah, okay. And kept going. I was like, oh my god, no wonder he keeps killing me.
And it goes the void goes straight through your armor. So even if you have full armor, I only have what? I actually was fortunate enough to have 18 health. And he kept at it. I blocked a lot of his moves, but... Again, it goes right through my shield. I could do nothing about it.
Good times. Good times. Yeah, I probably died 30 times at least a minimum of 30 times that I died, and probably 28 of them were from the void guy. I was like, I'm down. Someone would be like, heal 5, and I'd be like, great, and I run at him and I start hitting him again, and he'd be like, 3 void. Like, I'm down. And someone would run up, 5 heal. Start attacking him. He's like, 3 void. I'm like, ah!
Our mission was to rescue the king. And he was behind this magic barrier. So a lot of it was us defending them from the monsters.
Or trying to defend them anyway.
Yeah. Defending our people. While they disable this magical field to be able to rescue their king.
Oh my god! Yeah, I found out that after all that, it came down to one person. Only one person had the spell needed to deactivate the shield that he was trapped in.
And they used a lot of magic,
so much magic.
Formal magic scrolls.
Yeah,
those are like separate from the basic magic that you can use. Oh, that was intense.
It was a lot of fun though. Like, just the chaos of it was a lot of fun.
I didn't care for the smoke because hard to breathe sometimes, but
yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. But I could see how some people would. There was a lot of smoke,
and it gave it the overall mystic feel. Like,
yeah,
it was a completely different world.
It was a nice touch.
We applaud you guys, the plot people, for putting this together. It was amazing.
It really was. We did splendidly horrible. But we appreciate the fact that we got to do anything at all. So yeah, we managed to free the king. And we
brought him out of the...
No. One person brought him out. And it was Lady Captain.
Really?
Yeah, by herself, hulks this guy up and just turns and carries him out in full garb, mind you. I was like, dang, because the guy being the king, the NPC, he was not a little dude.
No.
He was definitely bigger than I was, and she just like hulks him up and carries him out like it was nothing. I'm like, okay.
Right outside the portal, we laid him down on the table, discussed what happened, debated or decided what to do with the loot distribution. And while that was all going on, we later found out that somebody killed the king.
Uh-huh.
Well, he was unconscious. So by the time we started carrying him over, he just flat out died.
Yep. Did we ever find out who did it?
I don't think so.
Okay. I didn't think so either, but...
And the damn captain was...
upset. Very, very upset. Especially... and I don't blame her. I mean, she just hulking carried that guy. And then someone goes and assassinates him anyway. Also, that's their king.
Yes.
Dame Captain and Sir Captain. That was their king. They're from the other land. And one dude got turned into a cookie golem, a chocolate chip cookie golem, for that fight, the smoke fight. I don't know why.
Was that then? I thought it was earlier.
No, it was specifically for that event. He was turned into a chocolate chip cookie golem.
Yep.
And
I mean, it's not very authentic to the times, but come on, we're nerds.
I mean, I guess I'm allergic to chocolate, so it'd be effective fighting me.
Yeah. I remember when he exploded.
That was later. You're getting ahead of us. But yeah, so he took a lot of damage, though. I don't think he went down once, though, because of his golem status.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool. I want to look more into being a golem.
Somebody would have to make you a golem.
I know that. But, I mean, as long as I'm not a chocolate chip cookie golem, I might be down for that. So yeah, that pretty much wrapped up that night.
Yeah.
It was very upsetting that the king died. Well, for some people, like the barbarian people.
We're like, we don't know him.
People die. he wasn't our king. We don't have a lot of friends.
Our characters don't. After that whole fiasco, we
had another fiasco. It was a night of fiascos.
There was a miscommunication about the loot. Some people, majority of the people, decided to distribute the loot in the morning because everybody was tired.
It was super late, and we just got done with a really intense fight, and it took a long. I don't know how long we were in there.
Yeah.
Because Mystic World and all, and also I don't know how long we were in there, but man, I was tired afterwards. It lasted a lot longer than I feel it maybe should have.
Maybe.
But we did spend a lot of time bottlenecked and stuff.
So everybody was tired. A lot of people went to their bunks, their cabins.
Sleepy time.
It seemed like it was wrapping up. But then our sheriff got word of some people complaining about not getting their loot right away. And he was really upset. He came back like...
I mean, to be fair, he had a right to be upset. We were all tired. The loot count got messed up. I don't know how many times.
4?
Yeah, that's 3. You can't say 4 and hold up 3 figures, yeah.
It was 3 or 4, okay?
He can read, but he can't count. Yeah, no, I think it was 4 times that the loot got messed up. And then we found out, after the 4 times it got messed up, that some people had been missed from the counting that had actually participated in the fight and so should have gotten loot. It was a fiasco. We should have waited until morning like we originally said.
However, that happened.
Stuff happens.
As well as the fact that we found magical items there at our event.
2 magical items.
Yeah. We had a dispute over how it should be distributed. The way that things are currently done in the neural in this Neurobane site is
auction. There probably won't be any words there. But if we edit it in, you'll see it. It's an auction house is how it's currently done. Basically what that means is that the person with the highest coin usually gets what they want, and everyone else just kind of goes, that was a really nice item. One of these days.
I will save enough and maybe collect it with between us or a group of people just to get one item.
Yeah. So the three powerful auctions or factions right now, as far as coin goes, are the barbarian clans that are affiliated with the guild, not our clan. We're not affiliated with anything other than ourselves. The Sea Lions, which is a mercenary group there, they pool all of their sources together, so they have quite a pack because there's a few of them.
Yeah.
And then the town itself. The town gets, I found out, 10 gold from every auction. So, yeah, they get a cut of 10 gold. So, for example, we auctioned off a mace. Yeah, a magical mace. I forget how much it went for.
I believe 180 gold.
Yeah, so 180 gold. 10 of that gold, it automatically goes to the town. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. And then the rest of the gold gets distributed among whoever participated in the fight, including the guy who bought the magical item, which I don't think that's super cool, but
Our characters hated that. Really hated that. Because it's not fair for the newcomers. They don't get a chance for a magical item. Sure, they get like a couple more pieces of gold, but that means we have to suffer and grind and wait until we can afford one.
it is what it is, though.
Yeah, that's the way that things have been done. At this particular loot distribution, enough people complain about it that
I was not one of the complainers. I was off talking. No, I'm serious. I was off talking about something else. I was off talking about complainers. But completely unrelated to the auction complaining.
And enough people decided that the most fair position in that circumstance was a random draw to see who would get the magical items. Two people got a magical item. One was a newcomer, one of the baristas. She got a necklace with the multiple eyes. It sees. You don't know what it who it sees us for. Could be a
if
demon.
it thinks.
I don't know.
Random thought process.
It's a magical item. It might be cursed.
Oh, it's probably more than likely cursed.
And it spies on everybody. But
It's kind of a cool plot later down the road.
Yeah. She got a magical item and it was her first time there. And that was like amazing.
One of the other guys who got an item actually was a longtime player. And was actually one of the richer guys. But it was a random draw, so, you can't be mad at that. And then he auctioned it off.
Yeah. So it was kind of like a win-win for both sides of the coin there.
I can't say I blame him. I probably would have done that too.
Yeah.
Like, I know some of these guys want it. Who wants to pay the most gold for it?
He got ahead in that deal because he's the one who's selling it and he gets all the gold.
Yeah, the town does not get a profit.
Which is something I quite enjoy. And we're going to try to make that perhaps a reality in the next couple of games we play.
I mean, I don't mind the auction system if it was tweaked. I don't think the person paying the gold for it should get any of their gold back. Like, that just...
Okay.
So yeah, after all of that, I went to bed.
And I stayed up for a couple more hours. We had a few minor skirmishes. And I was pretty tired. Even though...
Well, it's bugging me that you're not in frame. Sorry. continue.
I could have stayed up the whole night if I wanted to, but I did not want to. I was tired.
I can't say I blame you. I mean, after the first night.
A couple of hours in, I went to bed. This time I did take off my garb and boots. First night I did not.
No, he did not. Of course, you didn't really come in the first night either. You came in and the
morning.
sun is coming up.
Yeah.
That's bad.
And I passed out. And I'll let you tell what happened next.
All right, so like almost right after you pass out, there's a loud da 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 as someone is banging on our door, and I'm surprised like nobody else woke up. So I was already awake because everyone came home to the cabin, and then the guardsman, or I called him lawman in the thing, the sheriff and we were talking for a little bit about some things out of character. And then just loud banging on the door, and on the other end of the door, we hear this little tiny voice going, "People are dying!" So I jump out of bed. Mind you, I have already gone to bed hours ago. So I'm in like my PJs, t-shirt, and a pair of like track pants. Get completely changed. I'm back in garb, like out the door, 2 minutes flat. I was very, very pleased with myself. Go flying up the trail to where the people supposedly are dead. And I get there and I'm like, where are they? And I'm like, ready for a fight. It's epic, right? You know, I got all dressed up and worked up. And I'm there. I'm here to save lives. I'm going to be a hero-ish. And everyone's already dead. So it turns out when it was our SAR friend, actually. So when Kitten came and said that everyone was dying...
Sierra was her name.
I called her Kitten. But yeah, her character name is Sierra. But I just call her Kitten because she's, like 14?
15.
15 in real life. So, you know, she's young. But yeah, what she had meant to say was that everyone is dead, please come help. And instead she said everyone was dying. So I don't get to be this grand hero saving the day like I had played it out in my head. I just get to be the janitor and clean up after everyone's mess. So we get there. The bodies have completely dissipated. Apparently, I don't know what happened. She was left alive, but everyone else was already dead by the time she came to tell us. And we're well into that 5 minute.
Granted, she's really quick and she can climb trees if need be. She might have escaped.
She might have, but then she just hid the whole time? Like, I don't think... I'm pretty sure somebody knocked her unconscious. I think that's what she said, was that someone knocked her unconscious. But yeah, so we get there, everyone's dead. The sheriff shows up, like, a few moments later. I'm gathering stuff. Like, there was just a bunch of stuff laying on the ground. And I'm like, good, you're here, read this. What is it? Because my character can't read. It turned out it was, like, a bunch of, like, potions and spells and... So I was trying to figure out like what had happened, what was going on, but my character can't read. So trying to figure out what happened on a crime scene when a lot of what's left behind is written doesn't work if you can't read.
Remember how we said earlier that when you die you lose all your stuff? That's what happened. There was just a bunch of stuff on the floor. So
they reached 0 hit points and were unconscious for that period of time they were dying. And then they died, and they were dead for that period of time, and then they dissipated. So they actually had to be resurrected. They couldn't just be brought back to life with a spell. It took some real magic to bring them back. And it was like, a lot of people died too. There was the guy who basically works for the town. He's like the mayor or something like that. He died. 2 or 3 of the baristas died.
Oh, they were pretty upset about that.
Yeah, they were really upset about that. So it turned out what had happened was that after you went to bed, the newest plot guy that we have, so we have this guy who just joined plot, not this last game, but the game before. He had just joined, so he's still new. And this event, with it being a long weekend event, he was running a few of his own games that he had done. So he decided that since there were still a few people awake, he would attempt to do one last little skirmish. And I guess one of the players who is secretly evil. I use quotations because apparently he's not that secret about it. So I don't know why he's still alive. Nobles, I mean, they get away with stuff.
Yeah.
So he hijacked the game with a couple of spells, knocked out a few of the players. So he knocked out the kitten first of all, and then cursed her with some sort of rage, and then threw her into the coffee shop.
Whoa.
After the people running the coffee shop had gone to bed. So how it works, how the cabin set up was they had half the cabin marked off for their sleeping quarters because there was only 4 of them. So they had 4 bunks in the back half of the cabin where they were sleeping, and then the front half of the cabin was their coffee shop, and then they just had like a curtain or a couple of curtains like up and dividing the thing. Mm-hmm. So they had shut down the coffee shop and had gone back to their cabin to go to sleep, and he does all this and then throws the kitten into the coffee shop. She comes to from being knocked unconscious, and she's cursed with rage. So she immediately starts flipping all the tables and destroying stuff. Again, I use quotations because she was really careful not to actually cause any damage to any of their stuff.
Yeah.
So she was just like, "Rah!" I'd flip a table, and then she set it down. I kind of wish I was there to see that part because that would have been the most hilarious rage. But then I might have been dead, so I guess it's a good thing I didn't see it. So, upon hearing someone raging and flipping all of their stuff and destroying everything in their coffee shop, the girls then decide to come out and investigate. Upon coming out to investigate, they immediately got jumped by some redlegs, which were the NPCs that the player had basically brainwashed through a couple of spells and got them to go in and attack. So he killed everyone in the shop that came out to investigate, all but one of the girls.
Their sleeping quarters were warded, but the coffee shop part of it was not.
So that everyone could get into the coffee shop. So after the 3 die, and then the kitten is knocked unconscious again, her memories were altered. A few more players came from outside because they heard the commotion. They died, and their memories were altered through some magic. And then, to avoid suspicion, apparently the player had the redlegs kill him. Which, I was really upset that someone would do this, but upon hearing that he had himself killed to avoid suspicion, bravo, sir. If you're watching, bravo, okay? Like, that is...
top level.
That's gutsy. Like, I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have had myself killed to avoid suspicion. Because every time you die, you get resurrected. You have to draw from a bag of beads, and if you draw a black bead, that's it. Your character's dead. So he took that risk, knowing that he could not potentially not come back to avoid suspicion of being killed. And basically, he cast a spell on himself to wipe his own memory, so he wouldn't know what happened. And then the redlegs attacked him and killed him, and he came back without any memory of what happened. And I'm like, dang! So I learned all this like way after the fact, out of character, and I was just like, my god, that is brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So going back to the thing, we managed to bring a couple of people back that night because they were still awake. Not only did the kitten come and wake me and the sheriff up, but then she went to the sea lions cabin and started banging on the door and woke them up. And
they were
then apologized. Yeah, they were pretty upset to be woken up that late. She apologized. She grabbed a couple people from there and was like, "Ow, I need your help." By the time they got there, like, everything was kind of wonky. Yeah. So it turned out several people had like just completely different memories of what had happened. Like 2 people were like, "No, we were attacked by redlegs." One person was like, "No, we were attacked by the sea lions." one person was like, "Nah, we were attacked by like clowns or something." It wasn't clowns. I just don't remember. It was like something completely random. But yeah, it was just crazy. And there were only a couple people there from outside the thing. We were like, well, Red Lake seems a little more logical. I don't think the sea lions would do it. And like the sheriff's like, no, the sea lions didn't do it. Just straight up didn't do it. And I'm like, I've only like this is my third game, so I've only been doing this for 3 months. I don't really know the sea lions, but that doesn't seem like something they would do. So I'm gonna go with the red legs, even though I've never met a red leg. But you know, if you have red on your legs, you're evil. I guess. I don't really. They tie a sash or like a red sash around their leg, hence red legs. But yeah, so like all that happened. There was a lot of talking. There was a lot of just confusion and people not remembering things right, and then people being told no, that's not what happened, and then refusing to believe it because their memories had been reworked. It was very interesting in the confusion to see that, and it was also kind of like irritating at the same time because we couldn't do anything. We couldn't get anywhere because everyone's stories were different. So.
And then they came back to the cabin and started talking about it.
There was one thing before that.
Yeah.
So the sheriff had decided that he was going to go investigate. We knew that there was a Red Lake camp not terribly far from where we were currently set up. And so he was like, I'm going to go investigate alone and I'll just keep watch. And I wound up insisting to go with him. I'm prior military, like in the real world, and so like the moment he's like, "I'm going alone," I'm like, "No, you need someone to watch your back." Like my little brain is like, "Ah!" So I'm like, "I'm gonna go with you," and he's like, "No, I'm gonna go alone." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna go with you. You need someone to watch your back." And what I did not know, and this is what we wound up talking about later, he agreed to let me go with him. We go back to the cabin, and he gives me an enslavement potion. So if you're watching this, dude, not cool. I get why you did it, but not cool. So he gives me an enslavement potion. He's like, "How do you feel?" Because he thought that I was under an enslavement potion already, and my orders were to go with him and then kill him when we were alone. And so like that's why I was insisting to go with him. And in reality, it was just because you need a battle buddy to watch your back. Is why I was insisting to go with him. So he's like, "How do you feel?" And the enslavement potion should have like had this really wonky effect on me, and I'm like, out of character. How do I feel? Like I don't know. No one's explained this to me. And he's like, "Are you under an enslavement out of potion?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Okay, well then you don't feel anything." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm like, "I don't feel anything." He's like, "All right, here, drink this." And because I'm in enslavement, I'm like, "Okay." I don't even question it. He's like, "That's the antidote to the enslavement potion." I'm like, "So I'm free again." He's like, "Yeah, you're free again." I'm like, "Okay." What the heck? And he's like, calm down. I thought you were under enslavement. So after it had been explained, like my character understood why he did it. He already has his doubts of the mayor guy. Like he knows that he's evil, and he suspected him from the beginning, and so he was like, you know, I thought. So our characters went and tracked the red legs, and then watched them basically all night, and then we went to bed. And that brings us to Sunday morning. I don't know why I'm doing that. Hopefully you guys find this random stuff entertaining. Otherwise, I just look stupid.
I was still very tired, and I hear these guys talking, and my brain's very slowly starting to work. What is going on? Who did what? It took me a few minutes to actually wake up and start listening and figure out what they were talking about. All the chaos that happened.
Oh, so much chaos.
I'm kind of glad I slept through it all.
Yeah.
Because we were warded.
Yeah, we were totally safe. But like the cool thing is that like through doing all of this, we've kind of gotten more in with like the different factions. Like the sheriff is cooler with us now. He's like, no, you guys are actually really handy to have around. So like the lawman likes us. The sea lions are like, no, you guys are really handy to have around. The other barbarian faction has already admitted that we're really handy to have around. So like we're kind of like slowly like puppet masters.
Nah.
No, we're too.
We're getting connected and building our reputation as a powerful fighting force.
That's really what it is. I don't think we're too. We're not focused enough to try and take over anything.
Not yet.
That behind the shadows stuff ain't for us.
At least not for these characters.
More into that later.
Yeah.
So yeah, he woke up, and when our characters returned from our scouting mission, we were talking about everything that happened. I had to apply new face paint because we have to wear face paint. I decided to do something fancy because we thought that Sunday was supposed to be our friend Sir Captain and his wife Dame Captain were supposed to have their
ceremony.
Yeah, their knighting ceremony because they got knighted. So we were going to have this big party for that. So I put on like all this fancy face paint for that.
I didn't know that. I forgot about it.
And that's not what happened at all, actually. No. Instead, we went and killed Redlegs. So I got all dressed up just to go kill Redlegs.
It was also over the bridge battle. We were able to...
Choking point.
Yeah. But we managed to go past it. Our cookie monster, Cookie Golem, went ahead. And...
Moment of silence for the cookie golem. Alright.
He went ahead and did a killing blow on one of the Redlegs. And that backfired on him.
Yes, because the Redleg had the spell Revenge! So basically how Revenge works is whenever a killing blow is performed on you, you essentially die. But in your death, you kill the person who killed you.
And the Cookie Golem, despite how powerful he was, he still died.
Instant kill. And the Cookie Golem's death, upon dying, explodes. And everyone caught within a radius dies with him.
And a few of our guys as well.
There's like 3 of us went down.
As well as
4.
one of the Redlegs.
Yes. Not worth it. So Cookie Golem guy, if you're watching this, no more killing blows. At least when I'm like right next to you.
Actually, he's no longer a Cookie Golem.
Yeah, you're back to normal. Just, if you're watching this, dude, no more killing blows when I'm in the same radius as you, okay? He's probably never going to see it.
We were able to defeat him, got the loot. We
defeated most of them. A few of them did run, and they went into the next lands.
Yes.
We didn't follow. Because we were like...
They kept running. Some of our people wanted to chase after them.
Actually, like, all of the sea lions were like, kill them! Hunt them down! And we're like, we're barbarians.
No. Women's out. And it was because we might have been associated with the current regime. And that would have been really... That would be a declaration of war, essentially. If they mistook us barbarians as the current regime barbarians.
True. Well, and the current leader in that realm is evil anyway. So even if she didn't mistake us, she would have been like barbarians. That's an act of war.
Absolutely. Any excuse.
Yeah. So we felt it best not to chase after, and we were like, all right, if you guys are doing that, we're out. Wind mains, Autobot style, roll out. And we impressed people with how smart we were. So, proof that barbarians can be smart, guys.
Yep. We got loot.
We did get loot.
We went back to the tavern, distributed the loot for those people who left. They got their money in the bank. And one of the loot items, it's not an item, but
It's still an item.
is I got a gem.
So this is the first time we've seen this. Apparently, it is something common that they have in the world of Nero, but it's the first time we've seen it.
And it's worth 15 gold, which is awesome.
Yeah. So we both got one. I got a yellow one. He got a blue one. Mine's upstairs. I don't feel like going to get it just to show you guys. It's basically the same cut, everything but yellow. So use your imagination, I guess. Yeah. It's a LARPing video, right? We're all about imagination here.
Yeah. Which was awesome to have. We're getting new stuff in the game. Then, after the loot was distributed,
We got attacked by a Cerberus.
yes, Cerberus, which is for those people who don't know, a three-headed dog responsible for guarding the underworld. He saw that a lot of souls that died but didn't go to him,
Because we had a lot of people die in this game. Like,
and he was upset.
very upset.
So he went after the people who died, but got resurrected. And we had, as a collective, we decided to stop it.
Kill the beast!
No. We didn't straight out attack it. We safeguarded the people who died.
Yeah, you guys did. I attacked it.
Into a warded area, and
then it turned on the rest of us.
it was disappointed that he didn't get his kill, so he was like, food, and started attacking the rest of us.
It immediately turned on me.
Well, you did attack it, and you were the
Okay,
closest.
to be fair, I did not attack it until after it swung on me. I was going to attack it because, like everything, we see a monster. I'm like, kill the monster, and everyone's like, no, don't kill it. I'm like, okay.
Remember that Iron Golem I killed that turned out to be actually a good guy? See, you don't always kill the...
Okay, but then the Cerberus turned and attacked at me.
Yeah.
It didn't hit me, thankfully. I dodged out of the way, but it did attack me. So then we all killed it. And what happened? We got loot.
Yeah.
So when I want to kill things, it's good. When you want to kill things, it's bad.
I am unlucky.
No, it is probably always best to wait and see. But that's not really my character. Like, my character's not a wait and see kind of guy. So, yeah, we fought the Cerberus. We killed the Cerberus. We got some more loot from that. After that, we had our closing ceremony. We all gathered around. Lonnie stood in front of all of it, like in the center of all of us, up on a pedestal kind of thing. I think it was a bench or a chair or something.
Bench.
And, thanked us all for... So, after we killed the Cerberus, we had our closing ceremony. Everyone gathered around. Lonnie thanked us all for coming out. Thanked Plot for putting together such an awesome game.
Absolutely.
I know we said it at the event, but guys, thank you so much.
Amazing.
You guys are all stars. We thanked the NPCs for dying.
So well.
Because without you guys, we have nothing to fight but each other, and that creates discord. So you guys are all stars. Plot are all stars. The other characters, you guys, like, everybody made the game just
Amazing.
Spectacular.
And everybody was in character. It was awesome.
The whole time. It was so amazing. It's going to be hard going back to the day events after this.
Absolutely.
God, it was just awesome. So, after the closing ceremony, we packed up, we cleaned up, and everybody left. We came home, and on the drive home, we started talking about the next event, because we were super excited. We were talking about this event and the next event, and we were just talking at like 1,000,000 miles a minute. We were all just super excited.
Our friend, Jen, did not like her character.
Well, it's not that she didn't like the character, she just said she had a hard time like connecting with the character.
Yeah. And she talked to Lonnie about adding like a fire pit and dancing around the fire pit as part of to give more story to the overall Nero event. And
she was okay with.
Lonnie was all for it.
Yeah.
And then we started talking, how can we incorporate her new character with our characters?
What if instead of trying to find a way to make your character work, we all rolled out new characters under a sailor-like mentality? So we're all from a ship. We're all like this misfit crew of different individuals. It gives us a chance to try out some new things for Nero specifically, as well as like some freedom to try some other races and stuff.
Absolutely.
We all really liked that idea, so we have decided that for this next event, we are all going to be a completely new set of characters.
Yeah.
Hence, my new look. because sailor, and this was a very common sailor pirate kind of look.
Yeah.
So I decided to try it myself.
And we also thought that we can, since our previous characters didn't enjoy the downtime, because they were all more about the fighting.
They were all about fighting.
Yeah. So these next characters, we wanted to incorporate some elements which we didn't have to fight. We could enjoy outside of combat.
True. So the new focus for the new characters is the downtime. We fight the particular way that we fight. Nothing's going to change that, really. Like, we're not going to just suddenly fight differently. So we were like, okay, we don't need to focus on the fighting aspect so much because that's how we fight. Let's now create some characters that focus on the downtime.
Yeah.
So we've come up with a few things. Should we say what they are, or should we just...
songs, games,
Gambling.
yes, gambling.
We're introducing gambling to our particular chapter.
And Ronnie was okay with that too.
He was. And we even asked for some secret things. We won't get into that because anyone watching might get a heads up that we don't want anyone to have specifically. So we'll let you know in the next video how those secret things go down.
We shouldn't have mentioned that, actually.
No, because now they're going to be like, what secret things?
No, secret things at all. Just not mention it.
Well, yeah, but now the watchers are going to be like, ooh, what secret things? And they're going to watch the next video, right? Yes. So yeah, we will probably try and do a little video introducing the new characters at some point. Unfortunately, a few of the guys in our group are not going to be able to make it this event.
Yeah, unfortunate. But it happens. Life happens.
So we'll figure something out. Stay tuned. More videos to come. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for clicking on our faces.
Like, comment, subscribe. And as we always say, adventures out there.